Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anne Marie, and today I'm going to discuss the 10 Things I Love About You, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Before we begin, let me remind you that I will not reveal any plot twists, nor will I spoil any surprise endings, so don't worry about that. The whole point of this is to give you an inside peek into the book. If you've already read it, or if my video compels you to do so, and you feel like adding to my list of things to love, feel free to do so in the comments, and I will take a look. So here we go. Listen for the Lie is about a woman named Lucy Chase who returns to her hometown of Plumpton, Texas, to help solve her best friend Savvy's murder. It has been 5 years since Savvy was murdered, and Lucy remains the prime suspect. Although she has since moved to LA and started a new life, the true crime podcast Listen for the Lie has decided to investigate Savvy's murder for the show's second season. Desperate for answers, even if it means discovering she's the one responsible for her best friend's death, Lucy reluctantly returns to Plumpton to finally learn the truth. The first thing I love about this book is its tone. This is a whodunit murder mystery with a lighthearted yet darkly humorous tone, and we realize this as soon as we start reading. This is how Chapter 1, titled Lucy, begins. A podcaster has decided to ruin my life, so I'm buying a chicken. I make plans for this chicken as I sit in my cubicle at Walter J. Brown Investment Services, waiting to be fired. I stopped pretending to work 2 hours ago. Now I'm just staring at recipes on my phone, dreaming about sticking lemons up a chicken's butt. It's an apology chicken for my boyfriend. It's like that engagement chicken, the one women make to persuade their boyfriends to propose. Except this is a sorry I didn't tell you I'm the prime suspect in my friend's murder chicken. Apology chicken, for short. Lucy's happy-go-lucky tone is continued throughout the book, oftentimes becoming sarcastic and frequently skirting the line of hilariously inappropriate. The second thing I love about this book is Lucy. She's the almost 30-year-old protagonist who tells the story in the first-person present tense. Lucy is witty, sassy, bold, blunt, brave, and has a dark and twisted sense of humor. Although everyone in Plumpton, Texas thinks she's a murderer, Lucy doesn't remember what happened the night her friend Savvy was killed. She doesn't have any close friends, just some work acquaintances who will definitely never speak to her again now that they know from the podcast that she's a suspected murderer. She's described by one of the other characters as being complex, layered, a deep thinker, and an old soul. Always full of sharp comebacks, she speaks her mind and doesn't care if other people are uncomfortable around her. Also, she writes romance novels under a pen name, and no one other than her agent, publisher, and grandmother knows about this secret career as a romance author. The third thing I love about Listen for the Lie is the book's layout. In between the chapters titled Lucy, that are written from her point of view, are the transcripts from the Listen for the Lie podcast. The conversations that podcast host Ben Owens has with the other characters gives us a lot of details regarding Savvy's murder investigation and what was going on at that time in Plumpton, Texas. This format reminded me of Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True, where Alex Summers' podcast excerpts pop up throughout the story to add suspense and build anticipation of things to come. This is another great book that I will discuss in another video. The fourth thing I love is Lucy's grandma. Lucy's grandma, Beverly, lives in a pink 250 square foot tiny house on wheels because they are very hip and millennials love them. The fact that grandma is not a millennial is beside the point. Grandma is at the stage in her life where she does what she wants, when she wants, with whomever she wants, without worrying about what the neighbors think. Because in her opinion, it's better to be interesting than likable. In Chapter 3, Lucy's grandma calls and asks for a favor. She wants Lucy to return to Plumpton, Texas to celebrate her 80th birthday with her. She wants to have a big party, and she wants Lucy there because Lucy is her favorite grandchild. Unable to say no to the only family member she likes, Lucy agrees to Grandma's wishes. Of course, Before ending their phone conversation, Grandma mentions the podcast because she knows host Ben Owens is in town interviewing everyone regarding Savvy's murder. Grandma has always had Lucy's back, and she's the only person who truly believes Lucy is innocent. This is why she schemes to get her to return to Plumpton to talk to Ben Owens about what really happened that night. The fifth thing I love about Listen for the Lie is Ben Owens. Ben is the 28-year-old host of the Listen for the Lie podcast. Formerly a lifestyle and entertainment journalist, he was obsessed with true crime podcasts, so he decided to try one himself. His first season featured a South Carolina teenager who was killed on prom night and found in the trunk of a teacher's car. Ben solved the case and has now moved on to the unsolved murder of Savvy Harper. Friendly and smug, with dark hair, dark eyes, perfect white teeth, and boyish good looks, he has the smile of a superhero. Grandma thinks he's cuter than Chris Evans, but Lucy disagrees. Lucy first meets Ben at Plumpton Diner, where Grandma sends her to pick up dinner. And meet Ben Owens, who just happens to be in a booth by himself waiting for her. The sixth thing I love about this book is the way Lucy describes her mother, especially in chapter 6. There is nothing my mother wants more than for me to confess to killing Savvy. Not just because she thinks it's the right thing to do, but because she would excel as the mother of a murderer. She'd be a star at church. She'd give long speeches about forgiveness. She'd write a book about overcoming the guilt she felt raising a murderer. Sometimes I think that she's angrier about me depriving her of this than she is about me actually, maybe, murdering someone. Mom enjoys being the best at everything, and I've denied her the opportunity to be the best mother of a murderer. You can't be the best mother of a woman suspected of murder. That just doesn't have the same ring to it. Both of Lucy's parents think she killed Savvy. The reason they think this is disclosed later in the story. The seventh thing I love about Listen for the Lie is Grandma's birthday party. This occurs in chapter 21, right after Ben Owens airs a bonus mini episode of his podcast that reveals something shocking about one of Lucy's immediate family members. Considering how scandalous it is, Lucy expects her mother to cancel the party, but she doesn't. Grandma's 80th birthday celebration is still a go. Her friends are there to celebrate with her, along with extended family from out of town, and they are all in a large room for special events at the back of the restaurant. And then who walks in? Podcast host Ben Owens. You know, the one who chose to air the scandalous bonus mini episode right before this family party, knowing he was going to be there because Grandma invited him. I think it goes without saying that his presence causes chaos. The entire chapter is awkward and hilarious, and by the end of it, Grandma tells Lucy, quote, "My dear, you made it the best birthday ever." The eighth thing I love about the book is the fictional city of Plumpton, Texas. Podcaster Ben Owens describes Plumpton as a quaint, charming town in the Texas Hill Country that is home to about 15,000 people. It's a tourist town due to its close proximity to several hill country wineries, but it's also become a popular spot for young couples looking to escape the big cities. The public school system is one of the best in Texas. In chapter 5, we learn that Lucy's childhood home on Clover Street has a front porch swing that you can't sit on 6 months out of the year because it's too hot. The heat there is relentless, especially in August. The unsolved murder of Savvy Harper is a sore spot with the Plumpton Police Department, who refuse to cooperate with Ben Owens and his Listen for the Lie podcast. The ninth thing I love about this book are all the little twists that are revealed throughout the story, mostly through podcast bombshells. By dredging up the past and re-interviewing people 5 years after Savvy was murdered, Ben Owens discovers many of them were lying about what really happened that night. As he gets closer to the truth, stories change and more lies are exposed. This, along with Lucy's memories from the night, as they slowly come back to her, make this a compelling page-turner from start to finish. And finally, the 10th thing I love about Listen for the Lie is that it kept me guessing until the end. What makes this story unique is that for most of the book, the protagonist who's telling the story genuinely does not remember what happened the night of her friend's murder. Lucy goes into this whole thing knowing she's a suspect, but regardless of the outcome, she wants the truth. Whether it clears her name or lands her behind bars, the truth is there. Just listen for the lie. If you've read the book and would like to add to my list of things to love, please do so in the comments. Until next time, take care, be well, and happy reading.